This is part 3, continuing with surface area and volumes of three-dimensional objects. So we just did a rectangle, so let's say that we had a cube, right? So what does a cube mean? It means all the sides are the same length. So in a cube, as soon as you see a 4 there and a dash, you'll see all these dashes around it like that, which means everything's 4, right? Because it's a cube. So what's surface area? Well, every surface is 4. So it's 4 here and it's 4 here for 16. Now you could go top and bottom times 2. Then you could say, well, there's another 2 side ones, which is top and bottom is 2. Then another 2 for top and bottom is 2, right? So you get 32, 32, 32, which gives you 96, which is great. The other way, of course, is that there's 6 of them, and they're all the same. So you just go 16 times 6, which is 96. Okay? Easy, right? All right. This is the logic. This is the shortcut. Okay, next. Surface area and volume of triangular prisms. Kids always struggle with this. This is where they always get into trouble and get frustrated. But it's not that bad. And I'm going to show you why. A triangle is always half of a rectangle. It doesn't matter. Every time you see a triangle, no matter what the shape, if you build a rectangle, you build a square around it, it's half of that rectangle. And if you can grasp that this is half of this is half of this, you're on your way. So, when you're doing surface area of a triangular prism, you take the height here and the base here for 30. But there is a rectangle built around it. Therefore, what's the surface area? It's half of it. So the surface area here is half of it. So it becomes 15. And if you can get that, if you can get to here, you're home free. So this is 15, the one at the back's 15. So what do you notice? You end up where you started. So some kids get to the point where they go, well, if the height is 5 and this is 6, it's 30, it becomes 15, but I also know there's a front and a back, and here I am back where I started. So you can either do this or you can recognize this. Then you've got 3 surfaces, don't you? This one, which becomes 9 times 7. This one on the bottom, which is 6 times 9. And since this is 7 here, this will be 7 here. So the back side is the same as this. Another 9 times 7 is 63. So then what you end up doing is you add these up for 10, 7, 12, 18. Then you bring over your 2 triangles for 30, for 210. Your surface area is 210 units squared. Okay? Now, so that's surface area. So now for this one, if you were doing a volume, it's simply the area of this, which is 5 times 6 times a half, which is 30 times a half, which is 15 times the length. So it becomes 15 times 9. And 15 times 9 is 135 units cubed, say centimeters. All you do is get the area here and multiply it by its length. Once again, if you grasp that the area of the triangle is half the area of a rectangle, and if you can remember that, this all falls together. Okay? Now, next, cylinders. Surface area. I write it down, I can get confused too, but the surface area is pi dh. What's pi? It's a constant. What's a constant? It's something that's always the same. What's the diameter? Well, from here to here is what they call the radius, right? So if we said it was a radius of 5, the diameter would be double that, which is 10. And then the height is 15. So we just go, it's 3.14 times 150, which is, say, I don't know, 460 roughly. And that's it. What you've got to remember is if they give you the radius, you double it. That's the heart of the matter. If they give you the radius, you double it to get diameter, then you've got your constant and your height. And there's surface area, just like that. Okay, now, I'm going to glance over so that I don't confuse you. Volume is pi r squared h. Okay, so now volume is 3.14 times r, which is 5, squared h is 15. Then you just multiply that up. 3.14 times 25 times 15, whatever that equals. And I won't take the time, but you multiply those out, and there's your volume. Here, the trick is to remember, you don't double the radius, you square it. And if you can keep that straight in your head, you'll be able to remember the difference between surface area and volume. Okay? All right. Those are big problems in grade 8, but if you keep your head about you, you're fine. All right. So we finished with that. All right, the next one can cause a lot of confusion. Watch this. What is this as a percent? From decimal to percent, we always move 2 to the right. So 0.89 as a decimal is 89%. Why? Because the 9 is in the hundredths spot. What's percentage out of 100? So when you have a decimal, what you're actually saying is you have 89 hundredths, which means you have 89 out of 100, which means you have 89%. So anytime you have a decimal and you want to change it to a percent, remember